let's go over some tips to help keep your fall mums blooming longer. If you take good care of your mums and keep them in good condition, you should be able to keep them blooming easily for 4 weeks and really up to 8 and maybe even longer. But there's a few key things that you want to do. First of all, start off with your buying. When you buy, don't go for the plant that's the biggest and brightest in bloom. I've had this plant here for about a week, so it is opened up and it's giving me a nice display, but I'm getting to enjoy that display. This isn't a display that happened all at the store. The thing is that mums are pretty limited in their bloom. You know, you will see there are some buds behind it, which is something else we'll talk about, and those will be coming forth as these ones kind of get spent and go by. But if you go to the store and you're picking out the flower that's fully in bloom, all the flowers are showy, then you're really going to miss a lot of those early buds. A better alternative would be something like this, where you've got either a mix or flowers that are just starting to open, or better yet, even tighter buds behind them that are just getting ready to go, showing just a little color in the bud, ready to pop, but haven't spent their show yet. Once you get them home, give them a sunny spot, but do your best to make it a sunny spot that is out of the rain. Rain is going to kind of rot and ruin your flowers, make them last a little less long, and will also tend to split the plant if it's heavy rain. And the thing about mums is that once they lose their stems, they're so slow growing that that's not going to fill in for you. You're going to spend your whole fall with that split showing in your plant. So give them a sunny spot. They want 6 hours of sun or more. And I know that sounds a little bit weird, like how do you give them a sunny spot but also keep them out of the rain? Well, something like this. You can see my porch. We're in full sun still, and it's noontime. We've been in the sun for about 6 hours, so these plants are getting their fill, and then as the sun moves over, they'll get shaded in the afternoon, but that's okay because they're getting plenty of that sun in the morning. Another tip, you want to keep your soil moist but not soggy. Now mine are ready to water here. They are a little on the drier side than I like, but I don't let them dry out completely. I don't let them dry out so that the soil is pulling away from the plant. When you water, you want to water around the base of the plant, and you want to spin that plant around. A little hard to do one-handed with a video, but spin that plant around and get all the way around the base. Something you'll find is that mums very easily can kind of shed the water if you're watering, say, overhead, watering the leaves, not getting to the base of the plant, and then you've got it not really getting down into the soil. It also is a good way to invite disease and foliar disease and ruin your plants, kind of give them a premature death. So avoid wetting the plants when you're watering. In other words, don't water overhead. Water at the base there. Try to keep them out of the rain as much as you can. Again, because that is something that is going to invite things like fungal diseases on the foliage. Another tip is to deadhead often, probably about once a week. You'll want to watch your blooms, see how long they last. This is something that may speed up the older the plant gets. But if you're deadheading those plants, you're letting those buds that are behind it, you're opening up a space for them to come, and you're letting the plants stop giving energy to old flowers that are on their way out and give that energy to those buds, to root growth to support them and to support the plant all overall. Deadheading gets rid of those flowers that otherwise would tell the plant to put energy into producing seed, and that's not really what you want. Theoretically, yes, if you let your mums go to seed, you could collect them, regrow them next year. It's not something people do a lot of because mums tend to be hybrid plants, cross-pollinate easily, and you're really not very sure of what you're going to get. Protect your mums from frost. It's easy to do. Just either bring them inside or cover them up with a little bit of frost fabric or even a light sheet or something in your home. Plastic will work too, but fabric is a little bit better. And if you protect your plants from frost, you can, uncover them during the day. They'll look lovely. Just cover them up anytime a low temperature is predicted again, below 32, freezing. Protect them. They'll keep going for several weeks, even if you continue to get frost. Another good way to keep them and actually, enhance some of your garden areas is to plant those mums in the ground. They're actually perennials. We just don't usually treat them as perennials. But if you get these plants in the ground, they can continue to grow for you and may even come back next year. And then, another option to get the really longest life of blooms is let them bloom again next year. And how do you do that? Well, either by growing them in the ground if there's enough time for root growth, or overwintering them inside. Once they die back, water the plant so that the soil doesn't dry out completely. Put it in a cool, dark space, and those plants will probably come out and come back next spring. You actually have nothing to lose by trying it, and if they do come back, then you can stop wasting money on spending on new mums every year. So I hope these tips help, and I hope you get the bloomingest, best looking mums this fall.